Hey, what's going on, guys? If you're new to the channel and you don't quite know what this is morning coffee where I wake up early in the morning and I browse a bunch of like competitive content. Um, and I drink coffee and get caffeinated and wake up, right, and get caught up with everything going on with Fortnite competitive. So for today's episode, which is episode 2, we're going to be doing a deep dive into how to not throw your cash cup games in your tournament. Um, I have a couple theories, right? Where like if people do bad at the beginning, they don't get that momentum. Um, to take it to like an extreme example, right? Like Bugha winning World Cup. This is an extreme example, right? This is a major tournament compared to a cash cup. Bugha had like a really insane first game, which gave him the confidence and momentum he needed to like win the rest of World Cup. So my theory, which I want to dive into today and do a little bit more research and investigating, is if people have like a bad start to their cash cup, does that hurt them on the back end? Obviously, if you don't get that like that 20 kill and a win pop up game one, you don't have like that point cushion, right? That you can rely on to maintain a lead. But yeah, we just want to focus on maybe the mental aspect of it. If it's all like in your head, like I did bad, I'm behind points, I need the W key, then you die, then you like, self is it self deprecate or self depreciate? Deprecate just feels like I don't know. It sounds weird. That could be the one. But yeah. So it's just kind of like that. You get into this vicious cycle of negativity, right? Like I'm behind points, I need a W key, then you die, then you're like, even more behind points and everyone's ahead of me. I need to do something big to bring it back, and then you die, right? So that's what we're gonna be diving into today. First up, I thought I'd go into like Khanada, then maybe Bugha and unknown. I think a lot of the people that we were expecting to do well yesterday for yesterday's cup didn't really perform. So personally, this is an area of interest to me. I want to answer the question why that happened. Right? We don't see any of the usuals in the top 10. If you just pull up like yesterday's cash cup, then we go to the top 20. We see Nosh, which is one of the usuals that we expect to see up there. Assault's insane, but I don't think people like look for him, right? Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe I should start looking for him from here on out. Riversun, insane solo player. We expect to see him up there, but we're still scrolling, right? We're still scrolling. Commandment, right? Still like on the lower end, and then we get to like Bugha, who's like 43rd. Then we keep going. We get to Creo. So like a lot of the people we were expecting to see up there in the top 10 area yesterday specifically, I have no idea what happened yesterday. It felt like the lobbies were harder for some reason, but I have no idea. So I want to VOD review what exactly, like this is almost like a post-mortem of yesterday's NA East Cash Cup, because yesterday was weird. Piro got 78. He's from EU. DJ's duo. He's actually insane. We tuned in a little bit, and Savage top 100. He popped off. Alrighty. Actually, I kind of want to watch what happened to Bugha before I watch Khanada, if that's all right with you guys. Because I was watching Khanada, but I didn't really keep up to date with the Bugha early game story.
That's the play. That's the play. 1 point for 200 cash prize. Wow. Wow.
Will I be doing a viewing party of the heats? I can, but a lot of bigger streamers are going to be doing a viewing party, so I don't know how I fit into the picture. If that makes sense.
Gatorade? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beard looking lush. Thank you.
My drop? Yeah.
Thank you. I get a lot of compliments from you guys about my beard. I'm really happy. Those comments make me really happy. First off the bat, or right off the bat, it's still early, guys. I'm still getting caffeinated. Bugha changed his landing spot, which is interesting. Did he go here yesterday? For the actually I should just go here, right? Such a boomer. So this is Zone Wars Platform Cup. Did he change his drop there yesterday
This man.
or today?
You have to.
So he went there for. He started going there yesterday, I guess. Yeah. So he started landing at that bridge, which, if you guys know, he was landing down low. He used to land down here at this research facility or whatever. When did he start going here? Do you guys know any Bugha viewers? Hooray Donuts, thank you for the prime, brother. You appeal to different kinds of players. When someone watches Sifu viewing party, they aren't doing it to learn. Okay, so maybe I do like an educational type of deal. But yeah, Bugha changed his drop spot on Wednesday, his solo spot here. So he's obviously learning a new drop spot. I don't know if that's a factor in why he didn't quite perform yesterday. Maybe his rotates weren't there, like quite where they need to be, right? Because he's learning a new rotate path. And in squads, he landed into retail. So this is a completely new rotate path for him. How to not throw, be good. Yeah. Well, that's the problem, right? Like a lot of these good players kind of threw yesterday. They kind of threw yesterday, and this is kind of like the post-mortem autopsy that we're doing right now.
How are you doing?
I found a big
Well,
bug.
I should probably
looking at
move
fish,
the
though,
camera
fish.
because everyone
It's only
else
here, though, like, hit
has their
circles,
camera on the left.
walls and stuff bigger now. Like,
All right, moving
Game
forward, moving forward.
No.
I'm in shape.
Nothing special. Still here.
So, I mean,
Starts to move out at a
I got
minute
one
left
thing about that.
before zone
Yeah,
starts
maybe.
closing.
I don't
His-
know.
Yeah, circle's not that far, so it's fine.
You have purple scar.
Getting farther away from the border. Starts to engage this guy. This is a bad fight to take. But it's not really a fight. Okay, let's rewind that.
Oh my god.
Okay, so he gets caught off guard. I think sniped a yard
Yay.
and pushed from like this guy. Should open up my epic pen.
Guys, have you come too?
I think a lot of stream snipers contested him, that's why. He didn't get contested game 1, which is the easiest to stream snipe. Also, I was kind of watching him and he... I don't know, we'll keep going. But in one game where I tuned in, he was blaming people like up on that risky hill as
This
stream
is very
snipers when
bad
that's like a
0
legit
kills.
drop. You land on the double chest and you slide down to the triple rock because you have height advantage on whoever lands down there. And you land first. Most of the time. Actually, it depends. It depends on the bus route, but like most of the times you land first. And if you get an AR, you beam the guy. Yeah. So this is a pretty dead lobby. He's going into it with 0 kills. That's the other thing. Like was that drop he's doing, I feel like he kind of misses out on a lot of kills if he doesn't get landed on compared to like his old drop, right? So this will get him endgame. His drop might get him endgame if he's uncontested, but it will get him endgame without like any spawn fight kills. Which obviously, like, he's an insane player. You can obviously just like win the spawn fight.
Dude.
in a cash cup, right? We're not talking like a land setting. We're talking a cash cup. Tamo, what's up, man? What's with this new check mark on verified? This is weird. Why'd they do it like this? It's a box now.
Dude, it's not good, bro.
Yeah, so this fight just threw his game. If he doesn't kill the guy, that guy's probably doesn't have mats either. Okay, so there was another kill here. He got the replenish. He's back in the game actually. So this isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Like it's bad, but it's not too bad.
This guy.
It's a 70 dink, so that's a win condition to push that guy. Doesn't have a trap, so he can't trap him there.
Like I can't catch him, bro.
And this is the second build fight in a row. I don't know if build fighting's the strat. Nice.
My god. Like, bro, I could not like catch
That guy
him,
was almost
but-
out of mats.
Jesus. Like I had him in like a box like 2 times and I missed one wall. He just escapes. Like that was so aggravating to play.
The new verified on Twitch looks terrible. Yeah. I mean, like the fight was super annoying, but he won it, and because there was a body down low, he got the mat replenish. His mats are fine. He doesn't have shield in his inventory, but like he's still in this game, right? Going into endgame with 30 points or like 30 people left, 1 point.
Kinda screwed.
Super dead game. He's pushing this guy. So he actually decides to W key a guy. Gets it. Hydra TL. I don't know if it's Hydra FN. Okay, so his game's good here.
That's what I'm trying to say. These guys are that bad. Like, wow.
So I guess he starts just W keying people because the first few fights were super easy. Right?
Yep.
Disengages from that guy. And then he goes back to him. Yeah, this lobby's super dead. Like I'm so confused about like, because I think he decided to start W King once he was like in endgame when the circles were a lot tighter and the population was like a lot smaller. Instead of playing for the win, right? Because he went to endgame was like 0 kills and then he started W King, which I don't understand. Right? Wouldn't you want a W key
Hey, freeze kill.
off spawn and mid game?
Rough.
And then like the placement points are kind of free, right? Because you know, fourth circle you get top 15 regardless. Game 1. You got a kill here. which was super free. He didn't realize how bad the players were. So he probably expected the players to be somewhat decent, and then like midway through he realized they were really bad and just started pushing everyone. But does that... So he kills this guy. Does that throw his game? He's still pushing people. Right, he kills this guy. Easy enough. Still W King. Yeah, these guys were not that good. What? All right. So he does win this game. It's kind of a free win. And this is the kill that tells him people are bad.
Jesus. Like, I had him in like a box like 2 times and I missed 1 wall. He just escapes. Like, that was so aggravating to play.
Like, I want to listen to the comms, see if he verbally says why he starts W King after that fight. Because that's the, like, right? We're here, 30 people left, only 1 kill. That fight kind of triggered something in his mind saying, all right, the lobby's easy. Whereas before, like...
Have more kills. Like, if you don't get kills, kind of screwed.
Okay.
This is like first lobby stuff. Getting kills here is easier.
Yeah.
Gotta go fight the guy center zone.
So that's what he said. All right. So during endgame, he switches up his strategy to start playing for kills. Okay.
How do I sneeze only on stream? Like,
Bless you, bro.
I don't get it.
Fuck off.
What did we just watch? The endgame? I don't know. Endgame was like a slaughter fest, and Bugha was the wolf. They were all the sheep. I'm not sure why he changes his drop here.
My ping spiked yet.
Because he even marks it. Maybe he's trying to curve the stream snipers. What? High glide, I'm assuming. Those guys are shambles. I'm assuming he's doing a high glide to scout everything, right? Because that's what you can do with this spot. You can go orchard, you can go risky, maybe even pleasant. You can go.
When this guy's standing still on a hill.
You can go to the salty mountain chest. You can get this little path or whatever, which is his main path. So I'm guessing he doesn't want to commit to this drop. He wants like a plan B if someone does land here. Do you have any advice how to avoid mid game fights? Just avoid the borders of zone, right? Like if you're here, then get as far away from the borders as possible towards center. First and second circle.
I don't get why people land up there, bro.
That's just kind of like the basic foundation, right? But there's obviously more to it. Do you believe cones have become meta for box fights? I think they've always been meta. I think people are starting to use them now instead of the Mongrel Classic. The Montreal Classic, right? Where you water place and then put a ramp in and then you reverse the ramp. People are now starting to do water place and then cone in there. Alright. Doesn't get contested.
Lobbies are dead. You know, everyone's in that game, or in that game is bad.
Catan, thank you for the Twitch Prime, brother. Cones in boxes is much safer. Doesn't look as nice, but more effective. Yeah. Khanada prefers
Guns.
cones, and they usually work. The problem sometimes I feel like is their placement hitboxes is kind of weird compared to ramps. When you want to put a ramp into, like, you expect them to turbo build a wall, right? And you want to place it in between turbo builds. I don't know. In theory, it should be the same, right? Like a cone should be the same hitbox as a ramp, but I don't know if that's a factor or not.
I think I'm gonna just try to play for endgame every game.
It's also not as disorienting when if the guy's sitting in the back of his box, right? Like this is you with your pickaxe. You're attacking this wall, and the guy is back here, right? And you ramp him. I don't even know how to begin to like do a ramp, but like you know what I'm saying. You ramp him, and the ramp, like he's under your ramp. This kind of disorients him more than having like a cone in here, right? Because here he can still like, he still has some control, but the ramp's kind of disorienting. So I don't know. For that situation where you like try to place it in between turbo builds, I don't know what's better, cone or ramp.
Oh, why I got a pickaxe swinging from over there, but okay.
But I think like it's important to know when to use which. That'll definitely be like, alright, so here he's in the mid fight. Just like everything, right? Like situational tips and tricks, right?
What is your issue?
That was a good cone. This guy's in a pinch.
What is this guy doing?
How many points do you have?
19.
Oh no, here do you do you continue W keying the guy, or do you like base up like this? Alright. That's probably the question going through everyone's mind. Yeah, so they're still in the box fight, which is good. Instead of like the massive build fights that we saw game 1.
RS Nephews, you might be the worst player in
So
the game.
someone in the chat just
I got
said,
shit.
with cones, isn't it easier to hide behind and have better angles? I mean, that guy died sitting behind a cone,
RS Nephews.
right? So not really. You can only, in a cone, you can only sit way, way back. But the second you move away from the top of the cone, you're kind of dead. Like, you kind of have to camp the back of the cone to survive here. There's no other option, really. Like, if you move away, you're dead from any angle.
RS Nephews, you might be the worst player in the game.
That guy got shit on. Wow. You are good.
Like,
If that was
wow,
his
you might be
cone,
the
though,
worst player in
he
the
should have edited it
game. I
down.
don't know what he was
If you're in that
doing.
position, you should edit down.
Yes,
You should
all the
edit the
time.
cone.
Yesterday I was getting
Like midstream.
yeah.
Alright, moving on. Bugha had a strong start. He had a really strong start, I feel like. His cup.
Could probably
Yeah, the lobby's a little bit better. We have 40 instead of 30. Just gonna keep fast forwarding. First moving. This is why you sit in the cone, guys. That guy starts pickaxing you, you just pump him. This is his second game, yeah. So this is Bugha's second game. Game 1, he got a win and like 9 kills or something. This is game 2, so he still hasn't got placement. He got 19, I believe, his first game. Because he has 1 elimination here, no placement. And the question we're trying to answer right now is, how did Bugha, Khanada, Unknown, Nosh, how did they not do well yesterday? That's the question I'm trying to answer today. Right? Because those are the names we expect to see at the top, and a lot of them weren't even top 10. None of them. Khanada didn't place top 10? No. He played on... Unknown played on keyboard yesterday. I mean, on controller yesterday. He did keyboard Wednesday, controller Thursday. He played keyboard, mouse both days. I'm pretty sure Unknown's title said controller. We can double check it. It's not a big deal. I remember seeing this game. I tuned into this game. It was a good game. I'm listening while at work. That's what's up. If Unknown focused more on keyboard and mouse, he'd be more consistent. Well, from yesterday's morning coffee, we identified like a lot of Unknown's weaknesses. Right? Like his end game, like fast looting, where he just like misses a ton of material stacks. His expensive tarps. Like if he can clean a few of those out, he'd be really, really good. Like all around. Like a well-rounded player, not just like mid-game. Like early game, mid-game, right? Like end game as well. Right, top 2 out of mats. Just using any of his old builds, trying to shoot him out. Nice.
Let's go.
Alright.
I don't even know.
This is when I started to like tune into other streams, right? So I don't know what happened from this point on. So that was the first hour that we just reviewed. And I have no idea what happened after this that
Solos don't have.
made him not do so well. Alright, so a guy lands
This guy
on
actually
that
aiming for the
single
most before he
chest.
makes it, right?
That's interesting. Someone asked me earlier, right? Like, do you land on a weapon but like a ton of materials, right? On a ton of materials, like all these pallets, but like one weapon spawn? Or do you go for like all the weapons and a little bit of materials? I think you land on the weapons, not the mats.
Wow, let's go. That guy on the mountain is so clutch.
Did he change his spots? Yeah, so Bugha changed his spot to this slurp truck area bridge. All weapons is better if you're contested. I agree. Because you have more opportunities for shield, especially if you have the slurp truck here. Like this is a...
Oh my god.
he got the foot glitch. Bugha got sniped in the feet. No, never mind. Did he? Right, people on Reddit were saying that like the reason that happens is because the bullet hits here. So the animation says it hits you, but the hitbox says it doesn't hit you. So I don't know why that's a thing.
Thank God for bugs.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, how is that an actual drop spot? What do? You get 2 chests. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way people actually land there.
So this is what we were saying.
I don't understand, bro.
I mean, it's a legit drop spot. First of all, like
Rotating the orchard.
You
don't
land
people
here,
land
and then
the
you go
orchard?
here.
Like, I don't get it.
you go here, or if you don't want to take this fight and you landed up top because you saw it's free, you can go
Look, I
here.
got sniped. Like, look at that guy.
Or
He's
there's a
straight
chest
sitting
here.
Up on a hill sniping.
Yeah. So that's why people land up there, and you can beam people on their way down, right? So if you have a better drop, you can shoot at this guy before he lands. I've gotten snipers before, and I've sniped this guy before, so it's kind of nice. It's legit.
You hear me?
Just wanted to pop by and say thanks a lot for the host yesterday. Oh, Tux, you're welcome, brother.
Everyone's just shooting at each other.
Did you not stream the cup? I tuned in later, and then I guess you were just streaming your warm up.
I hate that zone. Just everyone running next to each other.
It's just everyone's like going, like not
All right,
going.
so
Get her in-
we're VOD reviewing a bunch of the people, for those of you who are just tuning in, a bunch of the people that didn't quite perform yesterday, and we're trying to answer the question why that was, right? We didn't see any of the usuals top 10, right? Nosh, Unknown, Bugha, Khanada. So my theory is like there was something up with the lobbies yesterday that were, I don't know, like the fights just seemed sweatier than
Guys,
typical.
for a pump here. Go save.
Like
I
even
don't know
by
what it
Thursday
is.
standards, right? So like a kill was
I think
just
you
so
do something nice.
like resource intensive. Like every single kill just felt like you were really working for it, to the point where like it's definitely not worth it. What's up, Clay? Good morning.
Rotate.
You don't like streaming solo cash cups because you like working on your mental? That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of people's reasons. I think he
Farm here.
I mean like
Ugh.
maybe I should pick a different word than throw, right? I'm definitely not saying choke. But like if there's a better vocabulary, or like if someone has like a thesaurus pulled up for the word throw, something that seems nicer to say. But like that's kind of what it felt like yesterday. Like people threw a lot of games.
Check this. Never mind.
Yeah, so
Like, there's
mid rotate,
big
this
zone.
guy, Bugha started rolling up on this guy. There's an awful angle to push up to a guy, right? Because what can you really do once you start getting sprayed? Like the grid just isn't on your side here, right? Like Bugha built a ramp, and then he builds another ramp that does nothing. And then finally he starts building a wall. So like pushing up to a guy like this is like, you should think twice about that.
Never mind.
And then you lose 70 shield
You're
because of the grid.
second in the game. Just chill. Just relax. We can all chill. Look, we're in a decent spot now. Just relax. Why don't you spray him?
Alright, I think they chilled for a bit, playing for endgame.
If he's smart, he'll
I'm
do
gonna
that.
fast forward here. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna back it up to when the pool appeared. So the pool appeared here. He's got 30 seconds to go here. Right? He's got 30 seconds to make his way there before the zone actually starts moving. So what's he do? Scouting. Scouting. 10 seconds gone. Gathering information. Instead of like rotating, right? Which is fine. Like if a guy's sitting on you, maybe that's what you have to do. And then when he finally decides to go, he gets edited down into a guy's box. That's the worst way to go out. I think that guy was watching him, right? Because it was that guy in the cone. That guy was definitely planning to edit Bugha down. So watch out for that, guys. Watch out for cones that aren't yours. Because the guy's there. Like, you can see his edit too, right? You know the floor is open. You know the floor is open down there, which means the guy's down here getting ready to edit you down. Yeah, right? Floor edits ready. There's some information that Bugha didn't count on. So we're gonna back this up. When you're ever in a situation like this and there's a cone that's not yours, just expect that. You gotta expect that. No other way to put it. No other way to frame it. It's a play, everyone does it. You can't throw a game like that. Alright. So that's how it started, okay? 0 point game.
It was gonna be a throwaway game.
0 point, right? No kills. No placement. And he goes out like that. So this is the beginning of like the downhill slide. Paco, what's up, man? Thank you.
I already knew it was gonna be a throwaway game. Don't care.
It's crazy how many pros fall for the cone trick and get pumped. Yeah. Just gotta be aware of that. Like, I feel like people just don't... I don't know, they never expect it, I guess. 18 minutes for nothing, yep. Yep. This is a strong hit to the mental. So that game was probably very demoralizing. Probably killed all his momentum. Right? Enthusiasm gone. I feel like... Do you guys think he should have taken a break there? Like, maybe like a 5-minute mental break to reset mentally? Because that's a hard hit. Then what happens here? This is a bad landing. So he goes off of a 18-minute 0-point game into a bad landing. It's all good. He's got a shotgun.
Alright. That's 200 HP.
No shield. Full loadout, but no shield. In that previous game, someone asked if he should have rotated right. I believe... I think you should always not rotate over cones. When you're, like, there's a cone on your wall. I think that should be the rule. And if you are going to rotate through that cone, make sure there's not someone in there, right? Do the door edit. We'll talk about this after this fight. That was a good trade. Bugha's been really good about this lately. Doing the AR trades. That was a really good fight. Right? He knows the wall is weak, about to break. And then he trades. That makes the fight pretty even. Then he does the little edit reset classic. The guy breaks. They trade. So I don't think there's a way for you to do a clean trade. I feel like, right? Like, is there a better way to play this? Because back in the day, it used to be you make the edit, you reset, the guy breaks it for you while you have your pump out, and then you trade while he hits it, right? So he broke that, but Bugha wall replaced instead of like it's a 1-for-1, right? Like the guy breaks the build, and then Bugha, while the build's broken, he gets to trade for free. Right, that would have been the free trade. But Bugha instead, he wall replaces and edits. And then it becomes like it's 1-for-1, right? Both of your shotguns are ready to trade with each other. I don't know, I guess the alternative, like, what if the guy gets the wall, right? What if the guy wall replaces? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one's better. Because you do run the risk of getting wall replaced. But you do get the free trade, so I don't know, like maybe you make the free trade worth? I don't think he had an angle to wall replace. That's interesting.
200 HP.
You can't really wall replace from this angle, huh? No, I don't think you can. I guess maybe the reset without the placing the wall edit is the play. When you know, because a lot of people are doing this now, right? Like you'll find a lot of people in this position, and that doesn't give them the grid advantage to actually wall replace you. So this wall's gone, but like you can still get it. You won't get it. That was a good point. I went from 20 viewers to 120 viewers. Let's go, boys. That's what's up. Thank you. Appreciate everyone who's tuning in. For everyone who is tuning in, new to the stream or whatever, I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if some new people tuned in, but a lot of the people we expected to be top 10 yesterday didn't really perform. And this is kind of like a post-mortem autopsy of what exactly happened. I'm trying to get a good picture of like what went wrong in all of these guys' games and how they, you know, threw, for lack of a better word. And yeah, we're just trying to see what we can learn so that you can learn. Maybe we can put together some sort of theory of, you know, what to avoid, some of the pitfalls that'll throw your Cash Cup games to avoid. So far with Bugha, we learned the never rotate half-half. Like when you know there's like an enemy cone on your box, never rotate over it because you will get edited down. People set up and wait to edit you down for a free kill like that. And that was like a 0-point game that he had. I remember seeing this.
Bro.
I don't understand. I'm not sure what he was doing.
You mean to go for the extra mats? Bro, what?
So this guy's spending a lot of mats, and maybe Bugha's like, why?
Okay. Alright. 50? No way he just hit a 50 there, bro. Okay. Alright. 50?
I need to... Yeah. I want to see where this went. Oh, it went a little bit to hit to the left. That guy's right. So it missed his shoulder. Okay. I remember seeing that and I was like, where did the bullet go?
No way he just hit a 50 there, bro.
Sliding down there sucks. I think that was the plan all along.
Oh my god. This guy's
That's probably what he should have done to begin with. Slide down. I'm not sure why he was under that guy's builds. Maybe he just didn't want to lose elevation. Right? Maybe Bugha wanted to stay on elevation. That guy had a good position. What's better, AUG or Gold Scar? When you're shooting people that aren't building, the AUG is better. When you're shooting people that are... I guess the AUG is better, huh? Because the Scar can't really do much. Like long range, the Scar is better.
Pissed me off. I was 200, bro. And he hit a 50
I think the AUG's better than the Scar. If we're just talking AR.
Like, this guy's running Scythe. Who wouldn't think he's terrible? Like,
Because nothing really has the fire rate to go through turbo build. Alright, fast forward, fast forward. Getting zones, hiding in the bush.
I gotta rotate. He might have.
Making it in game. We're about to see the zone pool.
I don't even think
Alright.
in. I think I have the zone bug. Holy shit, thank
So he gets the zone pool.
God.
Alright, so what happens this game? The AUG makes me comfortable dropping an SMG. Maybe. I still feel like SMG endgame's a lot better than the AR. That's just my personal opinion. Because it shreds through builds. And like the fire rate's insane on an SMG. There's a guy in his box, bro.
What are my chances right now, bro?
So he, first off, he gets into a guy's, he gets a guy in his box one time, right? So the guy's right there. I noticed Bugha never has traps. I don't know why. Like, I think we've seen him 4 games in a row now, not a single trap. So he makes his corner edit to block that guy off. So, but the guy's pickaxing through. He ramps his back. Then he lands down here, right on top of another guy. Same skin, by the way. Same skin. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do differently there? Because he was, I think he was walling off his back because the guy was on his back, right? You know what? I guess you just don't drop like that. I don't know. This is a hard one. Because you could just stay on this layer, right? You could try to stay on this layer. You could try to go to the old builds on the left. You got a guy behind you. You could just keep tarping, yeah. But that's not like good mat economy. And he whips 2 of his shots. So he whips 2 of his shots, so there's obviously like he can work on his shotguns using like in the box in those uncomfortable positions, right? Load up a creative was a duo and then work on that specific situation so that he doesn't whip those 2 shots. I don't know, this is a hard one, guys, because like you can go this way, but like this is like you can't, there's no way to expect this really unless you're like super paying attention to the audio. Maybe you go up. Maybe you go to the left. Because this guy breaking through sounds like the guy behind him breaking through, so the audio is so messed up. Yeah, I don't know. Just hit your shotgun shots, I guess.
My chances right dumb. What? W.
I don't know. Those are just like the end game situations that happen to you, right? It could have been that, or you get RPG'd into some guy's box and you have to win the shotgun fight. And he missed 2 shotguns. I don't know. Like that's the only reasonable takeaway we can take from that, because that was such a one of those situations that's like really unfortunate. It's really rare when you encounter one, but like, you know, because he did everything else like was pretty right. He was moving with a circle, ran into a guy, safely got away, ran into another guy. Like, we can't say he should have early rotated because he did. The 50-50 was the only option. I think so. Like sometimes you just have to win the 50-50, right? His scroll wheel wasn't working, so he switches mice. Alright, there's a new fight. So Bugha has 2 back-to-back bad games. I don't know where this guy's coming from. This guy was...
No way this guy is.
What?
No way this guy is.
Where... I guess that guy comes from the house? Where else can he come from, right? That guy had to have come from the house. There's no other way. There's no other way you have enough loot to do anything if you didn't come from the house. Unless he landed on one gun spawn and just waited for Bugha to make his way there. You look for others, but then look behind them. Yeah, I guess you have to look for that house when you're landing here. Because then you get that guy. It's one of those things, right? When you like try a new drop spot, little things like that that you have to look out for. These are some really good trades. It was unknown. Oh, it wasn't? Fake unknown? Army 2X. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, chat. I was about to do like a whole investigation, see what the hell was that? Because if it was unknown, that means something went terribly wrong at Pleasant. If he landed Pleasant? Well, unknown lands. I think he was Bugha also like... What happened here? Oh, I think this is when he switched out his mouse.
I'm back, boys. Okay. Face cam. Well, I saw. Okay, so I was mute. I saw I found a P90. I was like, holy. I was like, I need my mouse to work. Vibes are coming back. Oh, I'm just W king everyone. It does not matter to me anymore.
Okay.
I'm W king everyone. I think he's only 150. Not winning.
I don't know how much more of Bugha we've watched, to be honest, because here he just starts W king, right? We know what happened. He threw away 1 hour. He threw away an entire hour to 2 bad games. Right,
Just got shit on?
back-to-back throws. And that obviously hurt his mental and his momentum. One was he threw because of that cone, right? Like an enemy editing him down into the cone, which is just like an awareness thing. You should always be looking for that. The other was he didn't win the 50-50 when he was put into the box with a guy, right? Which, like, if you're a top tier pro, I feel like you should be hitting those shots. Because that's just something you expect. And then this.
Oh my god. Dude.
This is a 3-point game. Guy just drops down. Who tries to build but doesn't have the grid. Gives up on building. Goes for the shotgun trade too late. I feel like you should expect the drop down. Especially if you're spraying the guy to drop him down, right? Like you're spraying the guy to drop him down, you should expect the drop down. Gets caught off guard by the drop down.
Oh my god. Dude,
I don't know. He did use his last piece. Yeah, low mats. Maybe he should have been aware of that too.
Sister dumb.
Like he shouldn't have gone to build if he knew he was like low mats. Let's watch it back.
Yeah, hour and 1 cash. Dude.
So I mean, he had enough for. I don't know where that wall went, but he had one more build. I don't know where those builds went. Were they in the ground? So he has 3 builds. He walls off here. places a wall here. And where'd the other build go? Where'd the other build go? Hello?
Dude.
Okay, so we build one here. That's it. Unless he built over here too. Or like down here. It had to be down here, guys. It had to be right here. I don't know.
Oh my god. How did he kill me?
I guess, I don't know, you just...
An hour and 1 minute left with 4 matches played, bro. Dash cups.
Was it the ramp?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm done reviewing that. You guys can just know that the grid system in Fortnite sucks. The build placements suck. And whenever you're on uneven ground, you should expect your builds to go to the ground. Right? So you should always be aware of the grid, no matter what.
Scared me.
So
Good.
he's just W key now. Land Slurpee. W keys this guy.
Damn, good shot. I don't think it was. Nice. That's how we get back on top, boys. Nice.
Alright.
Talking about this loadout. I got.
Honestly, I think we move on. We move on to someone else now. Because he just starts W keying from here, right? So his game's already like, he's already behind, I feel like, on his tournament. Because of those 3 bad games in a row. So we move on. Who's next? Let's watch Khanada now. Let's watch the boy. We can, and then we'll tune into Unknown, and then maybe Nosh. Right, so he's W King here. W King. Whole lobby's dying pretty fast. He's fighting this guy. I remember this. This is game 1, right? He got into this fight with this guy. And then he got put into this like weird situation where you can't build. Right? You can't build around here. Then another guy rolls up to third party. Places the ramp, farms his way out. Walls the guy off, kind of. But the guy's right here. The guy's in the box. Not I know what he did wrong here. If this is his floor, he should have trapped the floor. Because the guy broke it.
Oh.
Then he killed him. Right, so nothing here. Yeah, so he quickly changes over to floors. So this is Khanada's floor. That's what he did wrong here. I don't know why he went for the wall trap. He's usually so good about this. So this is game 1.
Fine, it's 1 game. It's gonna happen.
Right, so he doesn't have that game 1 momentum that he's used to having. So this is game 2, and he's still... Like, his mindset is, I still need to W key for that first game, like, easy points. you know, pop off game to give me that point lead. For me to force a habit to put the trap on the wall, the bad habit to have. Yeah. Always go for the floor traps and then break out the ramp. Either the trap triggers when the ramp breaks, or, you know, you get the ramp yourself and you make an edit to trigger the ramp. Alright, so we're on spawn for like 3 minutes now. We're doing the little... we get that kill. That was insane. Alright. We fight this guy. It's a third party fight. We get in the box with that guy. So there's 2 people right now in this fight. Or 3, like Khanada and 2 others. It's this guy. Didn't put the cone in, right? Well, we're used to seeing Khanada put the cone in whenever he does this. He wasn't playing very warm yesterday. Right, we're used to Khanada putting cones down in the box when he does this. Luckily the guy didn't ramp and edit down. So now we're fighting this guy. Oops. Guy comes out with a trade. Khanada gets the ramp wall replace. Watch your back. Yeah, so the guy opens up and Khanada's play is the ramp. Right, we get the ramp in. Like, even though he misses the pickaxe, he like quickly puts the ramp in. That's quick thinking. He wall replaces with the tac shotgun, gets the kill. Right. And he fights this guy. Easy enough. Going into endgame, pretty dead lobby. He scuffs this. He doesn't make the full edit. He only does the top 2, not the one on the right. So he scuffs this. Which he's done in the past. So I don't know if this is a habit or what. He gets the second one. Thankfully he had a lot of traps. We're fighting this guy now. I'm gonna watch this back because this is... I don't know if there's a better way to do this, right? Khanada's really good at this, right? Does the door edit, he gets the cone, and then he starts attacking the floor with the expectation that the guy edits through. Pulls out his pump. And we go, like, I don't know, maybe Khanada can be more over here. Right? There's a tighter peak. Because right now, like, this is exposed to this guy. And you can still, if you're here, you can still attack the cone for free. I gets that and resets. Is that his floor? Yeah, so he gets the floor. Now the guy is SMG spraying. Gets 30, so 40 and 30, not big hits. But he's whited, so Khanada feels comfortable going in the box. Next kill. Checks for traps. scuffs the same edit that we talked about before. And then he dies. Yeah, so he scuffs that edit. Twice in the same game. I don't think that's his trap. I don't think that's his roof. So this gets him killed trying to roof trap it after he scuffs the edit like that. And then he dies trying to reset everything. He dies a lot, dude, to these things. He dies a lot to these cones, right? Because you're... Oops. This one? Everyone's gonna be like clipping that, I bet you. And make sure I didn't leak anything important. We were just talking about yesterday. Yeah. All right, we're good. So this is another example where he makes the corner edit and then he dies to the same exact situation.
No!
He dies to this corner edit. So I don't know.
It didn't.
Corner edit so bad, yeah. Maybe he should go for a top edit. He didn't place it on the left. He didn't place it up top, and then he dies to the corner edit.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trolling chat. Ugh, I'm trolling. I'm literally trolling. Ugh.
Alright. Next game.
What is it, tier 1?
In that situation, the cone doesn't need to be edited like that. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's a good thing to work on, I feel like. Should have reset the cone before going for the trap play. There's a lot of things he could have done. There's a lot of things he could have done. He could have made the cone not edited, right? And then go for the trap play. He could have made a different edit that didn't force him. Like whenever he's put into a situation where he has to like pull his blueprints out in order to reset the cone, he's dead. That's my main takeaway. Like he's dead every single time. Every single time he has this wall edit and he needs to pull out his like, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to pull out your blueprints in order to like reset this, you're dead. And he puts himself in that situation a lot. So that was two situations. One, he died game 1 because of a bad trap play. He didn't trap the floor. Died game 2 because of a bad wall edit where he put himself in a situation that he needed to pull out his blueprint if he needed to reset the edit. And then with Bugha, it was he wasn't aware of enemy in his cone, or like in a cone adjacent to his box. Endgame rotate, he just got edited down, pumped, killed. I forget what happened in game 2. Game 2, oh, he dropped into a player's box during the first moving zone, right? Like both of these Bugha devs were like first moving. He got put into the same box as a player, had to take the 50-50 shotgun trade, and he whiffs a lot of his shots. So those are the 4 things that we've kind of identified so far, that these top tier pros are the mistakes they're making. Again, not putting the cone down, which is what we're used to seeing him do. Not sure why he's not been doing his cone slide recently, but you know, he's also like very, yeah, speaking on mental, right? Like let's watch this whole thing back. We're sitting at 12 points game 3. We're a little impatient. We're still W King. Doesn't even do the door edit here, right? Doesn't even bother. Full peak, full exposure, no cover whatsoever. So we see the signs of being impatient game 3 when you're like behind, right? Very sloppy. You start to get sloppy. No cone slide, right? No ramp, no cone, nothing. So our gameplay game 3 is starting to get very sloppy. Morning coffee gang, that's what's up. Because they're bots? I mean, that guy's not... That guy's a pro. The guy he just killed? These guys are not bots. I don't know if he's a pro or like... He just places well. So here he does clean it up, right? He does a door edit. He walls that off. Attack replaces. Goes for the trade floor edit. Super clean. The guy tries to ramp off. This is why you slide the cone in. The guy ramps off and then he's gone. This is why you slide the cone in, right? Luckily, the guy was phasing the ramp. So Khanada manages to still get the tack trade or the tack damage off, right? Because the ramp was yellowed, but had it not been yellowed and he was farther back and he ramped off, this would have been a kill that he would have had to work harder for because he didn't cone it. How do you get the edit? It said unable to edit. This? It's probably server lag because it used to be that guy's floor and then it was Khanada's floor. Unable to edit building. I don't know. You gotta understand that his ping's insane. His connection to the server is pretty insane. Using your door trick, yeah. That's one of the things I loved about like Khanada when I first met him, is that he's probably one of the few people that actually do the door trick. That door trick's old too. It's really, really old. His confidence is usually really good, but I don't know what happened to him this cash cup. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because he had a bad start. If I'm being honest, like he's 2 games deep, right? This is game 3. And he's sitting pretty low and behind everyone else, right? Like at this point in time, I think Bugha had like 35, right? Is this moment in time? and Khanada was still like pretty behind. So I think he was just like really self-conscious or like impatient to W key everyone and get those points and those elimination points back up. Momentum is key, yeah. Benji tomorrow maybe? Did Benji do well this Cash Cup? I know he didn't win it. I know he wasn't doing great at the start. How did Benji place yesterday? Can someone tell me? He got top 13, 12th, and you got 12th. Yeah, I mean we can watch him. See why he didn't get top 10, but again, like we in NA East, like some of our usuals, we didn't start to see them till like 20th place, right? Did Mongrel play yesterday? Yeah, I think Mongrel was streaming. Khanada's known for dropping 20-piece games and a win. Yeah. The fact that he didn't do that, I feel like really killed his momentum. Which I mean, like, it's fine, right? Because you have like 6 games, right? Top whatever. First place is what, like 90? Right? So if you get 15 points. If you get 15 points, if that's what you shoot for, oops, right? If you get 15 points a game, you're on track. You don't need to drop a 30-point game, game 1. If you enter your third game with 8 to 15 points, you get matched with people that are good but are tilted hard. That's a good point. Everyone in this lobby is probably tilted. This is a tilt lobby, huh? That's a really good point. It's a really funny point too. Alright, so he takes this fight in Misty Meadows. Oh, there's a really good fight that he takes in Misty Meadows. I wouldn't say whether it's good or not, but it's like... It was a hard fight. If you guys were watching yesterday. Yeah, so he goes full build fight here. But it's the guy, gets some blocks. Obviously the build fight on top of a mountain isn't the play. Ever. But again, going back to like that impatience, right? That he was showing yesterday. Yeah, this is I don't really like this. I mean it works out, right? Maybe I think he, because this is like full on exposure. This guy edits. He's done. Thankfully the guy doesn't edit. Gets all that loot. So he starts getting some WQ momentum going here. That guy on the left tags him up while he scratches his eye. So Khanada decides to push that guy who just tagged him up. 150 HP going into this fight. This guy had really good ping. by the way. I think that was Khanada's cone. So he did try to cone that guy. This guy had real, like, insane ping. Like, Khanada was getting almost nothing. On top of that, he was getting, like, third-partied. Okay, so 120 here. This fight's in Khanada's favor. He scuffs that wall replace, or that floor replace, flat replace, whatever you want to call it. Gets this wall replaced. We got ramps. RPG play. I think he should have paired that with a pump. Right? He's far enough, he's far enough away. He doesn't need to back up more, right? Because this is a 1x1 space. So the blast radius doesn't hit you. So you can RPG pump, but he doesn't do that. Instead, he backs up farther away to the point where he doesn't even have like a pump angle. So maybe he needs to get more comfortable with like RPG blast radius. Attacks this. This is a good angle. Guy has good ping, as I was saying before, which means he doesn't get it. So maybe working on what to do when you're up against a good ping player, right? Like you should adapt more of like an unknown box fight strategy. He gets the ramp in there. He gets the wall, but he doesn't go for it. He had double edits on the guy, but he lets him go. Yeah, this is that fight. This is like a super long fight. Set up next to the guy was a bad angle, right? This is a terrible angle to box fight on. You should set up the box down here, right? You should set up over here. And then go for like attack this wall instead of that one. Yeah, because you give up that right hand peek, the guy edits, holds the right hand peek. The trade didn't even happen, so the guy's still pretty healthy. Yeah.
Bro's kid, dude.
He tunnel vision too hard. I don't know what was going on with this fight. Like a lot of little mistakes were made. Like getting sloppy in the box fights. And the positioning. Going for the trade, 40. This guy should be dead, right? This guy should die here. What happens? This guy should die here. Wait, what? Oh, it was that guy's floor. So we got the ramp. The guy resets his floor. And then he had it out. He took so much damage, dude. That guy. Again, like when you're fighting a low ping player, the playstyle should change along with it. Like, because you're not getting those easy wall replaces and then he gets trapped. This is the other thing that he did wrong. He went left instead of right. He should have gone right, because he... What's the point of claiming that right wall if you don't use it to escape a trap, right? This Khanada's right here. That's the point of claiming that wall, to edit, to make a corner edit out if you get trapped like that. Right? Like, that should be spatial awareness, right? Like I'm claiming this wall so that if this guy traps me, I go this way, edit out. And then I'm safe. And I'm hugging that wall, right? Like, I'm already on this side. But I go like the long way, and I don't have this wall. I don't have this wall, so I get boxed. And then I get trapped.
This kid is so...
This fight was...
bro, this
camera
kid
position.
40
He sees the way out on the left.
Oh, that is...
Nearly sees his wall, maybe. But like, that's the... Like, you know you have the wall. That, like, when you're setting up like this, you should be doing that regardless, right? This should be your setup. When you're going down for a wall place on a ramp, you should claim this regardless and know that's your exit strategy if you get trapped. So you have your ramp here, right? And you claim the wall, right? And this is your exit strategy if you get trapped like that. It shouldn't be about like whether or not I see my exit strategy on the left. It should be like, I'm already prepared to get out of here. This guy does this play on me, because this is a common play, right? You should expect this play, and you should have an exit strategy, which is that wall that you just claimed.
This kid is so...
He also went for 2 predictable pickaxes in a row.
Bro, this kid,
Yes.
I 40 dinked him flicked.
I'm gonna go back to this. Claim that. Pumped him. Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. He could have when he gets the ramp like this, he could make the edit like that instead, right? So that he has a half ramp that way. And then he can RPG the guy. It's a little bit risky because the guy owns this floor. But realistically, if the guy's right here, I don't think he has a hitbox to reset this floor. So if he makes the edit like that and he sends the RPG in, I think he gets the RPG hit without with minimal risk that the floor gets reset. I don't know. I would have to go into creative and play around with that and see what's possible. This is fine too, right? This is fine too, but the other way gives you guaranteed free damage instead of a trade. Assuming that the guy can't reset the floor from that position. What do I mean by an unknown style approach? Unknown's box fights are so clean, dude. Like, his character positioning in all box fights are so good at all times. Yeah. This is just like, I don't know. When the guy has good ping and you rarely get the wall, right? Like, you don't get that wall, your playstyle has to be safer, smarter, more calculated. Right? He doesn't get that wall. 2 walls in a row that he doesn't yoink. And then... yeah. Also, he doesn't... I don't think he pickaxes here, too. I don't think the pickaxe connects with the wall. The second pickaxe. Right? This pickaxe... This is the second pickaxe swing. If this pickaxe had hit the wall and he got the wall replaced, then he would have edited it into the box. And just like straight up, you know, 50-50 W keyed the guy into his box. But the pickaxe doesn't connect on the weak edited wall. Right? It doesn't connect, so he doesn't get the wall replaced. And then he gets trapped. So he had 2 exit strategies, right? Get the wall replaced and go in, avoiding the trap altogether, right? Because he was in the box. or that wall on the right. But yeah, either happened.
This kid is so annoying, bro. This kid, I 40 dinked him, flicked, bro.
Or stare it's down. Yeah, but the stare it's not. I
that's
feel like
so
that you need the floor too on stare right?
Tilting, bro. That kid, he just.
And then this is like the last fight before he gets off. Was that game 3 that we just watched? So game 3 he's sitting here, right? Was it game 3 or 4? Right, so game 4 he's obviously starting to feel it. And it's like super hard W key.
I'm playing so bad that now I'm taking
Yeah, and after that he took a break. I don't know why he went for the center door at it. Center door at it's... Right, this is his cone, right? He should be going for... Where's the door at it? Here. Because this is his cone. The cone should be... He should have edited this square, not this one. Right? Because this is what happens when you edit the center door. The center door doesn't work for this reason alone. Because this railing on the floor cucks you. And this guy still has a right angle peak on you because of this railing on the floor. Right? So you have a right angle peak. He has a right angle peak. Whereas over here on the other door, it's all... You give him a left angle peak disadvantage. That's why you do the right door. I thought it through when I posted the tip. Yeah, so this is just like a straight trade.
I'm playing so bad that now
Yeah, and then he gets
taking a
off.
break. I'm taking chat. I'm done. Yeah.
Alright. Let's go watch unknown. This it? Controller today warming up. Yeah, someone said he was on mouse and keyboard yesterday, but his title says controller.
Are you streaming after this?
Do you think my game would crash because I have seconds?
Stupid. I'm like, are you good?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
average 0. Streaming on console.
I'm gonna try my best to get into those games.
Yeah.
Fuck you, kid.
Tried a 50-50 months ago.
Nuclear attack.
Attack.
Comes. Oh my god, these kids are fucking dog shit.
Kills.
Alright, so that's...
Literally
We
kicked-
did Bugha, we did Khanada, now we're doing unknown.
Great pump.
Right.
Eat my ass, Ronaldo.
I would love to.
Little legacy. Little legacy classic.
Dude, what are you
That wasn't even that bad.
3 times.
The guy was standing still.
Eat my ass.
What was that guy doing?
I would love to.
I'm down. I mean, you motherfucker.
What's that guy doing? Reacting to someone played? No, we're VOD reviewing.
Idiot.
For all of you that are new to the stream or like just tuning in,
What is that? That's
this is a spiel, right? A lot of the people that we typically see in top 10 in yesterday's Cash Cup didn't quite perform. So we're just doing like a post-mortem autopsy
I'm telling you, bro.
to
It's nice.
see what exactly went
How many
wrong,
people are in your game?
why
7.
they didn't perform, what
63,
happened
bro.
that
Like,
made
first of all, I haven't
everyone,
even shown up yet.
you know, quote unquote throw
I just got sniped. Oh
their
my
Cash
God.
Cup tournament.
fuck. I'm at
With
70.
Bugha, he had like a strong start, then he had 2 bad back-to-back games where in 1 hour he only got like 1 point.
1 minute queue difference
right?
to make like 10 less people.
You
first
can go
one.
back in the VOD or the YouTube video later on and see that. We talked about that. 2 reasons why he did that. Khanada was like, he was just being sloppy with his box fights really yesterday.
I'm vibing so hard.
Like it was just really sloppy. And now we're tuning into Unknown
because we dogged everybody.
to see what went wrong with him.
No, my god, it says click.
You sound like a professor.
I just left
It's
it
kind of
off.
what it is. It's kind of like a lecture, I feel like.
I forgot.
Also, like, I'm learning too, right? Because it's not like I've auto reviewed off stream or whatever. This is like all, like, we're learning together. It's like a
I
little
heard
group
it
study.
causes, like, that, were you going into the game? I heard it
He's
causes,
playing on
like,
mouse and
those
keyboard?
crashes-
I guess he is,
crashes.
huh? Huh, weird. I guess he played on mouse and keyboard yesterday. So I guess he, like, this is the excuse, right? He played on mouse and keyboard, so maybe we don't learn that much from Unknown. But we did watch Unknown yesterday, so let's see if he...
That
If
was
anything
so
changed.
fucking clean. That was so clean.
Because his title, guys, his title was Controller Today, warming up.
I just clipped this kid.
So I don't know.
Put it in my montage, not even joking.
I don't know. I guess he decided against it.
Friend.
A VOD review.
Those cones were insane. Let's rewatch that.
I mean, big sub, but wasn't close enough. I will.
He clipped it too.
No, no.
Ops told him to play mouse and keyboard. Yeah, so you got the cones. That was a good pump. You got that cone and the wall. You got it.
That was so fucking clean. That was so clean.
So he got the jump cone, right? Like he got... Oh, I thought the cone was the first thing he built, but it was like... He built all this around. And then lastly, he got the cone. This is the last. That was first. But yeah, that was clean.
That was so fucking clean. That was so clean. Now you
If you get 30, you know you're gonna get into like a stack game. So you can either wait.
play it.
He knows exactly where the opponent's going because he's big brain. Yeah, his box fighting, like,
Just not very sicko.
IQ. I don't know what to call it. Like, I'll call it box fighting IQ for now. But like, it's really high.
There's no. I just hit this kid for fucking.
Yeah, here we see like the cone wall edit again, right? Right. Cone the guy, wall edit.
I hit him for 100.
Same as the off spawn fight. Let's keep fast forwarding. Pattern recognition. I don't know. That doesn't really roll off the tongue. Okay, this is a fight. Back it up one more.
Idiots, you're so bad.
Oh my god, I'm getting fucking out.
Fun.
Yeah, so here he did the double ramp with the cone in the back. Actually, was it? No, like he cones up top, does the floor slide into a ramp. I think he floors himself. He floored himself up here. It's fine. He gets the trade, wall edit, pump.
Idiots, you're so bad.
Oh my god, I'm
Then
getting
he gets the double edit.
Fun.
Keep going. Straight box fight.
I know your keyboard's so loud.
left me.
Does he not expect this guy to edit out? Why is he... Does this guy just like suck?
Keyboard's so loud.
Why is he being so like... Like Benji, right? Like Benji will like fake smack it and pull out his pump. He's just going for it. There's no plan B. It's like I'm gonna get the wall. There's no fakes. There's nothing.
Left me.
Right? And then he starts to kind of play it a little bit weirder here. Like a little safer, I mean, should say. And then he gets hits it on the second time.
You don't have to fight it. Don't fight it.
I don't know, this is just sloppy as well, I feel like. Like he's dead center here. No right hand peek advantage, nothing. He's hoping the guy edits. Double pickaxe. I think he just thought the guy sucked, I guess.
Yesterday I just got sniped for no damage.
Alright, I think I'm gonna mute just so I can play. Just don't push people if you don't have to. Simple.
Yeah.
Be back.
The bot lobby for lobby. You guys make really good points. Because we go from like a Khanada like sweaty lobby to this. Again, like early in the morning I forgot. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Bot lobbies, you can play a little bit sloppier.
So
But I mean, like, but that's the thing, right? Like Khanada was playing a little sloppy too, and it wasn't rewarding him.
Fox,
What's this kid doing? I'm killing this kid. See how I took his fish mini. Over there, bro.
Which is this guy? Yeah, just like really sloppy box fights, but I guess it's because it's a bot lobby. I don't know, I just feel like that's not an excuse to play worse, right? Or like, that just builds bad habits. Because if you're using the bot lobby to warm up for the harder lobbies, and playing sloppy
I was
is
at
just,
30 HP in the siphon from this kill.
I feel like sets you up for, doesn't set you up for success endgame. Or like towards the end of the tournament. Like getting out of that frame of mind earlier on, I guess.
you should probably after this game you should make a deafing key just in case.
Playing for endgame.
So Omar, you know how to.
GG!
Alright, I want to see how late he started.
Yo.
10-minute late start ops. You know the drill.
Can't even how that's
10 minutes late.
I do 5.
He's leaking! He heard that.
Flex, do you know about the starting late strat or not?
No, he's leaking!
So he starts late to get easier lobbies.
Yeah, if you
So I want to see what time he starts.
No, you actually can?
I got
Alright, and then I want to see what time Khanada starts.
No, I hit him for 85 whites.
So
He doesn't know, he doesn't know.
How is this guy going fast?
that's not even that late. 4 minutes late?
Oh my god, these kids are fucking dog shit. Kids didn't even know I hit him for 85 white.
I started 4 minutes late. Why am I on a 5 month old pod? What time did Khanada start?
Thursday, right? I'm tripping. Whatever.
8 minutes late. Yeah, and then
What's up, chat?
died to
Yo, 7. That's one game.
I think he died. So he started 8 minutes late here and then died to this guy. Was this a... What's this? I heard it was on Dreda, but I don't know.
Oh,
Soto on PT. Is that an alt for someone? Does anyone chat know?
He doesn't know, he doesn't know.
How is this guy going fast?
Only just deaf when nobody
Floor trap better right there? Yeah, that's what we discussed earlier. Nosh was popping off yesterday.
Still died.
Damn, I'm really fucking egos, man.
No, are you pulling a keyboard or a controller?
I am.
Alright, so this is game 2.
Die. I'm about to just do it.
The 50-50s.
I'm about to just pull a Lenity.
Doesn't seem like I'm not looking at stats. I wonder if Unknown has scroll wheel interact. Do you guys know? Cause he just got outplayed. I wonder if Unknown does scroll wheel interact.
Fuck. I just died.
Or to
I'm about to just do
video
it.
on
I'm about to just pull a Lenity.
I'll down to put you in my ass.
Yeah, I think he got scroll wheeled. If you're 50-50ing and you're not scroll wheeling, you're throwing.
Fuck, I just died.
I just wasted a trap on him. Metal.
You're chilling.
Shotgun. I picked.
So just be aware of people around you.
I just got L. What?
Back up as
He
much.
doesn't use scroll wheel interact in 50-50s. Yeah, like that, you're throwing if you don't 50-50 with scroll wheel. Like on low ping, it's the strat. Don't gun spawn on right side of chest. Yeah, they do. I mean, I don't know if they changed it since I came out with that video. Someone told me they changed it.
Nice.
I have no idea. I can fuck.
Oh, what's going on here?
I don't even care if the separate.
Backed it up. Thought they changed it like 5 seasons ago. I thought so too.
This guy's just sitting.
I think they changed it because of my video too. Which sucks. Like a lot of stuff I came out with, they patched. So then I stopped posting on Reddit. Because they were just patching stuff I put on Reddit. Right, so all my tips were just getting nerfed like next patch. Which sucked, right? Because I spent a lot of time like coming up and like discovering tips. And then like the next patch they're just obsolete. So, like why would I
How
post
much
on Reddit
fucking
anymore?
kills you have, man?
More people.
And you're still.
Karma is karma. Facts. I think I have enough karma.
How much heals does this kid have? This kid's so
Yeah.
fucking slurpy. No, I'm at 30 HP. I hit this guy for about 400.
Stacked game.
He's fighting another kid.
He disengages pretty far.
Shit.
No, that did.
Yeah, he's back in the fight.
So fast.
Alright, that's a little too hard. Too hard.
I mean, there's nothing that he said. It's just like nothing he said. Say some shit. Asshole.
I have punish you. Should I fuck this guy Pleasant? I think I should.
Yes.
He comes to get this fucking loot, he's beamed.
I just
Does he
wasted
get
20 minutes
sniped?
for one
I think he
point.
gets sniped.
I'm dead. I'm sitting in the water. This guy comes to get this fucking loot, he's beamed.
I just wasted 20
How's he see him?
minutes for one
How's he know he's there?
point.
I'm dead. I'm sitting in the water.
Was that a disengage? Was the guy
there's no
following
way
him to
I
begin
took
with?
that much damage. Not easy of a fight, dude.
I mean, I guess like most people know, like,
Bro, he's just such a.
yo, I just heard a shotgun here. The guy's probably healing in the well or whatever, right?
I just wasted what I was gonna
It's a
say.
reasonable
Can't get. I don't
Shit.
know.
expectation.
Okay, I was smart. Sorry.
Hit me. He's just Why is there?
Guess he saw me.
Stream sniper?
He definitely saw me.
Clock full. Yeah, so like you hear fighting, third partying, and you know there's like a
definitely saw me.
well there.
Good player.
And you know people like,
Definitely did not see me.
wait, what?
He's just Why is there 6 people going? Hold up. I have to mute
Yeah, you can just hear the fight. It's not
yes,
about
he saw
seeing.
me.
Okay.
Now he's
I guess he's ruling him out as a stream
So
sniper.
I'm landing main again. You see,
But yeah, like most people know, like
they just
they're
be like
probably
that.
in the
Shut.
in the sewer getting shield.
Like there was a lot of TOS games.
At least once. Oh, you're taking a break?
Is there an official stream for Squads 20 today? No. But you can tune into the practice
Yo.
server.
I'm moving with.
I'm outside of
I
West
like
Village.
that these guys just watch each other, dude. Like these cracked
11 degrees.
kids or whatever, like they just tune into each other's streams,
Skateboard, like,
right? Because that's at the same time, like that's their competition, right? To get first. So obviously they're just tuning in to see how they're doing and like if they're too far behind the competition.
landing on attack
It's funny,
90
like
out of-
the guys they were tuning into, everyone was kind of doing bad
I'm dead.
altogether.
There's no way.
Hey, no shit so far.
I'm dead. I'm
Yeah, he gets pinched.
dead. I'm dead.
All right. Was unknown, guys. I'm gonna move on because he was playing on mouse and keyboard. I thought he was on controller, so I can't really consider that a throw. Nosh. What happened to Nosh? For everyone tuning into the YouTube video and the stream, if you guys tuned in a little bit late, we're doing like a post-mortem autopsy of why these people, you know, that we usually expect in the top 10, what happened to them yesterday that they didn't quite perform, right? We're just kind of assessing exactly what went wrong, and we're trying to learn from their mistakes, learn how to not throw cash cups, and yeah, I mean, like learn from their mistakes is probably the best way to put it, right? And apply those lessons to our own gameplay if we can. So now we're tuning into Nosh. He was probably the guy who performed the best out of everyone we're reviewing today. He placed 20th. Bugha placed like 40th. I don't know where unknown placed, and Khanada got like 50 something points. So yeah.
That's how I know he's bad.
Face reveal once you win. I already did a face reveal. It's my bud.
He's wearing a freaking.
Nosh is good, but getting annoying because he is good. Huh. They're all young though. Like I don't know. I feel like it's a common trend with like these 14, 15-year-olds that are cracked and are starting to get like some popularity with their streams, right? They just it's like any sport, right? Like people that are good in sports, they get an ego. Again, like I haven't watched Nosh a lot. I'm going off of what this guy in chat said. I'm not saying Nosh has an ego. But yeah, that's the a common pitfall that a lot of really good athletes fall into. Right? It's important to stay humble. You first of all, you're a lot more likable, right? Like what is this? But yeah. Yeah, the saying is like in celebrities and actors, right? Like the bigger the star, the bigger the celebrity, the smaller the ego. That's the saying. And it's true, right? Like, you know, John Wick, right? The guy, I forgot, I'm blanking right now because it's early in the morning. What's his name? I forgot his name, the guy who plays John Wick, but like he's probably one of the most popular, likable people on planet Earth, and he's so humble. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, Keanu Reeves. I'm blanking out this morning, guys, but you know the idea. Keanu Reeves is probably one of the most popular, likable people on the face of the planet, right? And he's humble, right? And likable because of that quality. Not because he's a good actor. Because he's a good actor, yeah. But he's got a lot of other likable qualities and humility. That guy yellowed the ramp. Yellowed it again. This is just a straight 50-50 at this point.
Oh my god, dude, this guy's so bad. Oh! Dude, that guy's so bad.
Alright, we talked about this a little bit earlier, right? Like hiding behind your cone, like deep in the back if you're ever caught in this situation. Right? That's the only thing you can do to prevent him getting an angle. because you can't really run. I think this guy was doing it well, right? Because you can barely see him. I mean, Nosh does whiff. He hits the wall. He tries to reset. The guy just comes for the 50-50. Tack attack, straight tack attack. Nosh whips again, 2 whips in a row.
Oh!
And thankfully the
guy's so
guy doesn't connect.
If I would have died to him, I would have missed out. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I think some of these pros need to like do
what
that.
is the next highlight video?
That map that Bumpa tweeted out, right? What is it? Is it this one? Yeah, this one. This is a good exercise for warming up those shots. All right, work on in the box fighting shotgun shots. Because we saw Bugha miss like 2 during the 50-50s. And Nosh just missed 2. Yeah, you guys get the idea. That's the code 8082 3111 1094. You do need a partner for it, which sucks, right? Because who has friends on Fortnite? So get yourself a duo and practice that. Warm up with that.
Is duo's coming back? Yeah, they are. Winter Royale. Who's the duo?
I recommend Raiders' new box fight map.
If I get more ammo, bro, I
We can check it out.
My loot is insane.
I saw some of it. It looked like an edit course, and then I like stopped watching because I was like, "Oh, this is another edit course." But who knows? Maybe he did some crazy stuff.
Then I'm thank you for the 5 bits. Now I need this skill team.
My friends play on Switch.
Oh, it's so laggy.
It's a rip. Okay, so he box fights this guy.
Fucking bot, bro.
Gets the double edit. The guy pulls out an RPG, which is scary. Right? Did he pull out an RPG? I'm not tripping. I thought he had an RPG. For some reason, I thought he pulled out an RPG here.
Fucking bot, bro.
Oh, it was a attack.
Yeah, about the bot.
Right. What advice would you give to someone who can't take walls? You gotta play the right angles so much smarter, dude. When people have better ping than you and you can't take their walls, you just gotta play all the little tips and tricks, right? Like here you gotta do the door edit, right? You can't just expose yourself like that when you can't take the wall. You got to do the door edit, hope that they double edit on you, and then you pump them while maintaining a super tight peak.
Get out of my face, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He shouldn't have won that.
God, I would've died way too close.
But this is a bot lobby again, like this is game 1. Let's keep going. Okay, so here he's in the fight. Gets the wall cone. Guy's kind of panicking right now. Easy cleanup.
Okay.
Oh, he gets a kill here, backing it up. Oh, it's a trap kill. Bro, Nosh gets put into these super uncomfortable situations so much. It actually makes me nervous. This is 3 times in the same game where he's just in this super awkward angle. Right? Like, there's nothing smart about this play. Like, nothing about this play is smart. Right? You ramp it off. the guy can edit on you while you're healing. You don't. He doesn't make this ramp edit, like the half back, right? He makes the one that makes it super awkward for him. So I guess he wants to challenge the. And if you're gonna AR spray, why aren't you doing the backwards ramp edit to begin with? I don't understand. Like like I know, I understand that that the first game's a bot lobby, but like these are so sloppy. Like maybe except for Bugha, I guess, who didn't really fight mid game, right? Nosh, Unknown, and Khanada, who are known for W King in game 1 for those big points to give them those point cushions. They're either not warmed up. I have no idea what's going on in their mind game 1, but they're so sloppy. I don't know if that affects them later on. Which I mean, like, yeah, I get it. Like, everyone in the lobby is supposed to suck, right? So you can afford to be sloppy, but that's not a good habit. You're not warming up for game 2.
Dude, if I win this game, I'm gonna have such a high.
It lets them finish fights easier, though. Yeah, but we saw what happened with Khanada, right? Where he died game 1. Like, what's the point of finishing the fight up quicker? Like, if they're actually a bot, then sticking with, like, you know, strict box fighting principles should work out against a bot better than a good player. If it works against a good player and gets you a kill against a good player, then it'll clean up a bot. I don't know. Like, you shouldn't put yourself in a position to get attacked under a ramp or on top of a ramp. I don't know. What do I mean sloppy? It's just there's no right hand peek advantage at all. It's putting yourself in a bad position. You're putting yourself in a position to take a bad trade. I'm just gonna fast forward. Did he get a kill here? We're just gonna fast forward. Alright. So he gets this guy. RPGs, traps. Does the cone not destroy? That's a full built cone. How did the RPG not destroy this cone? Huh? This cone should be gone. But it's still there. I don't know. The reason that's important is because here, I'm gonna load up a Fortnite in the background. And then we'll continue the bod review. But I want to test that out, right? If you can put the cone or the floor trap there, RPG the cone like he did, and it doesn't get destroyed so that the guy drops down on it. What's up, Sharkano? Good morning, dude. Pausing really hurts my eyes. Okay. I can do that, I guess. My bad. I like to freeze frames, though. That's the thing. I like to freeze frames to understand what's going on. But I can do better at that.
He's deaf behind me, bro.
Alright, we're gonna fast forward, 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 and we're moving zone.
Alright, can you hear me now? I was doing something, but
That was a bad rotating half-half. Yeah, I don't know why he paused. I think he was messing with the stream. Alright, this guy's weak. Gets in the box. Easy kill. Lose 100 HP because we hit him 100 with the RPG. Still behind on the rotate. Not sure why. RPG's that guy. Gets in somehow. Doesn't have floppers for this. If you're like pausing, letting zone get ahead, then low mats rotating is the meta. Could be. Possible.
Oh my god, I got. Oh my
Nice.
god.
Yeah, so Nosh's like aim is pretty cracked. So his aim and his shotgun, you know, 50-50 kind of saves him in these kind of situations where he shouldn't be alive.
Oh yeah, so second.
So it's possible that he relies on that a lot
Let's go, baby.
to compensate for like some of those sloppy plays that he gets himself into. Those bad situations.
Unknown got 16 kill win, nice.
Let me just take a moment real quick, guys, to forward something to
What's up, creepy guy?
someone wanted like the heat format that I made, so I'm just gonna fast forward it to them.
Dude, I'm so cold.
I agree his rotates and fight selections are poor compared to other top solos. Yeah. Because this is an interesting bot review that we're doing, right? We get to compare them all together and we can contrast like what these top pros are doing, and then we can see the gaps in, for example, Nosh's gameplay compared to like Bugha and Unknown or Khanada's, right? Like I think that's kind of a unique perspective when you bot review multiple solos, multiple top tier solos at the same time. You can afford to play sloppy when you're that much better, I guess. Possible, right? But like you're putting yourself in a situation where like your mechanics have to save you, right? Like you're obviously comfortable with your mechanics, but what's even better is not putting yourself in a situation to get saved to begin with. I feel like
Don't know how he.
that was a good RPG play that he did back there. I'm not gonna go back, I'm just gonna keep pressing forward, but we're gonna fast forward some more. So Nosh did change his drop spot, right? Like he used to land Slurpee and now he lands Islands. Islands is kind of nice because you get like these little one-off solos that you can just fight. Here we go, slow motion. Yeah, I mean, I guess he jumped in to box the guy in, but he took a massive trade. And I don't know if like the jump in is necessary or not, but he did end up taking a trade because of it. All right, fast forwarding. Elevate raised his sense.
Yeah,
What's the
there's
context
nowhere
here?
to fish. Am I dead?
Lowest sense is either Elevate or Arkham. Tifu's on pretty low sense, too.
Give me that
Oh, there's a... Alright, moving on. Moving on. Fast forward. I don't think he's gonna do anything till endgame, so I'm just gonna fast forward to half-half. Or he actually got a kill here. Let's back it up.
No.
Back it up. Alright. Starts a little bit earlier actually. So right here. That's interesting. It was Ronaldo. Stable Ronaldo. People always say it was a Ronaldo. It was stable Ronaldo, but they never say is Ronaldo stable. Alright, you guys saw that? So I'm gonna back it up to that, whatever he was doing. Ronaldo's a funny guy. He is pretty funny. He's kind of like a loud troll, right? What is this? What's the plan here? What is the plan here, Ronaldo? You're gonna go over here and pickaxe the wall while you have like the most terrible peak advantage ever? 90. There was no trade. Alright, did I load up my creative? I think I talked about this on stream earlier. So I'm gonna let the creative load up, but that was a terrible way to attack the wall that's above you, right? There's a better way to do it, right, than this. Because all you have right here is like this to protect you. That's all you have. There's nothing else. You didn't create a good peak box. So I'm gonna tune into my creative and then show you guys what's a better. How old am I? I'm 26, I think. I forget my age. Right, so let's set this up again. Let's do metal, right? So this is Nosh's box. This is Ronaldo. This is Ronaldo, right? This is what Ronaldo does. You're so exposed. At best, you can do this, maybe. Like, maybe you can do this. Maybe this is a better peak. Definitely not this. Maybe this. Right? What we talked about on stream yesterday was doing this. Or not yesterday, but like a while ago. Right? Because look how protected I am here. Right? I have this railing protecting me. This is a better peak to pressure this wall than this. Right? So that was that. The other thing I want to talk about was that RPG play. I wanted to test it that Nosh did. That's Zoomer territory. The RPG cone, that's what I'm gonna check next. That's why we're in creative right now. So I guess let's do that. The bicycle's trap. Alright. So what did Nosh do? He did this, right? And he RPG that. Was it? Let's try green RPG. And then more rockets. I mean, it was brick, so I don't know. Maybe it was because of the brick. Let's try green RPG. Why? Yeah, I don't know why Nosh's cone didn't break. Yeah, moving on. Can I watch Aqua's 28 kill game in solo cash cup yesterday? Did he stream? Did Aqua stream? Moving on. Moving on. Time is it? It's almost noon. Alright. There's another kill. Yeah, you should go for the floor trap, right? Is this his floor? I'm guessing this wasn't his floor, so who knows? No, this is his box. Yeah, he should always go for the floor trap. To avoid that guy missing. Because the guy landed on the opposite side of the trap, right?
Oh my god. Hold it. What are you doing?
Hoskron, you gotta turn off your caps lock, brother. But yeah, I think it's... I don't know if it's too early to ask Aqua for his VOD if he did stream it. Or he recorded it.
I'm lagging so hard. I need to restart my game after this.
Or maybe it's too late, I don't know. But like to get it right now, to like see it while we're still streaming, I feel like...
The way you did that.
Like that's something that's done before the stream started. So that guy cones. That's a good play by that guy. That's his cone. Right? It's a good play for two reasons. Either he gets the cone here, or you know, Nosh ramps. Right? Nosh ramps this or whatever. Right? And then the cone gets put on top. So for two reasons, it's a good play. Nuts. What that guy didn't do was wall off the back once Nosh was in the box.
Why would he come out and dim and dome me?
Yeah, dim and dome. So this is where it went wrong, right? Low mats, back of zone, 2 floppers. Shotgun out. 31. I feel like I've seen this before. I think my dog's like at my door. We've seen this before where like people go for the attack instead of the AUG. When the AUG can do 90 damage and head dinks. Like, I feel like at this range you should be pulling out the AUG. I could be wrong. Like here you pull out the tech, yeah. Here you pull out the tack. Here you pull out the tack. But maybe here you're like, this is AUG range. Right? Because this guy's mining too, right? You want to AUG that. Maybe you get a headshot, who knows? I don't know. Yeah, Benji's someone else who does that, right? I think Benji's the one I saw doing that, where like his tack, like he wasn't within tack range, and he was tacking people instead of like AUGing or P90ing them. So I don't know, like that's something a lot of pros don't do well. Like identifying which weapon's good for which range. They always just default to the tack.
More HP. Shit.
Killed the guy. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a question of mobility. It's a question of like, what does the best damage at this certain range? I need burst damage. I don't need.
Way too loud.
I don't know. Why would you want to hit a 34 tack when you could be hitting a 32 AUG minimum and a 90 or close to 100 damage maximum, or even like what 72, 72, 72, right? Like whatever the damage is on triple headshots, right? Like objectively, the AUG is better. The AUG play versus a single 32 tack, 48 tack.
Or did they dive one of
And the AUG has good hip fire range too, guys. Like the bloom on the hip fire on the AUG is kind of broken. That's another factor to consider. Alright, so here he has another fight. I mean, like he was doing really well the first few games. No wins, right? But he's getting like top 15 placement, lots of kills. He was ahead. So somewhere after the 50-point range is when things start to go wrong. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm gonna fast forward. I'm just gonna fast forward this to end game because I want to skip ahead to like when he gets into the 50 range. You gotta kill. I'm just not gonna go back to see that. Alright, moving zone. He does not rotate to the zone pool. He doesn't rotate to the zone pool. Yeah, he should be that guy. I guess he's trying to hold height, half-half. Yeah, so he's trying to hold height from half-half. This is not the play. And then because you're trying to hold height half-half, there's this guy all the way in front during one of the biggest circles. And this guy has like probably 500, right? Because he's probably spent 500 rotating per circle. So he's got 1k mats, maybe an RPG. And this is why you don't hold height half-half. Because everyone has too many resources. So what's that guy have? He's got builds, I guess. He's getting RPG'd out. So somehow he's still holding height. But he's got 300 mats to hold height for the rest of the game. Still getting contested because a lot of people have a lot of resources.
Oh my god.
Panicking. Does he still have height?
Kidding me?
He still has height. There's not a lot of mats. And that guy's still build battling for it, right? Because he's got the resources. People still have a lot of resources to circle. Okay. So we still have height. And then you die.
Dude, what was that fucking kid doing?
Let's watch that back. This is where it begins. Should he have let height go there? Yeah. There's no way you hold this. With 1k mats, you're gonna burn 500 just getting across. Right? Let's back this up. What's he start with? These are his mats, right? 500, 0, 500.
Yeah, I swear they go for it.
So this little build battle costs some, I don't know, like 100 maybe. This was an expensive build battle, like 150 mats. For like a little build battle to hold height. Gone. Instead of using those 150 to get more tiles towards zone. Okay, right here we just wasted, so from the beginning of the rotate, 500 metal gone, right? And we're kind of still high. I don't know. We just got RPG'd once. And people are still build battling for it because they have the resources, the health for it. That guy's like 200 shield, I'm guessing, because he chunked them. So now we're down to 280. So we use like 750 mats first moving on height.
What are you doing?
And now second circle, we're down to 8 builds. Right? When you should be 500.
Dude, what was that fucking kid doing? Oh god. Why was that kid fucking coming up for highlight?
Alright, let's keep moving on. What happens this game? He fights this guy. Got no whites. We're just gonna speed through Nosh's VOD from this point on, guys. Yeah, again, putting himself in these uncomfortable situations in the box. Got yellows and kills him. Moving on. 43 points. Made it end game here with 3 more points.
Oh my god.
That was nasty.
Later, idiot.
Are you gonna be live when FNCS EU Heat is active? I don't know. Do you guys want me to stay live? I don't know what I would... Like, there are better people than me to, like, do a watch party with, right? Alright, so Nosh dies here. Alright. He's in the box. He misses a shot. He loses about 100 shield health here. And he didn't get the trade. And now he's panic wall building instead of just committing to the 50-50. This is how Bugha died a couple games before. And he just gets P90'd out. He pushes because he RPG'd him. That's understandable, right? Yeah, he just whiffs. He whiffs the shotgun.
Phase tilt.
And the guy still had shield.
Nothing about it.
The guy was 200 when he hit him with his RPG. But this is when he starts to tilt.
Yeah.
Putting himself in the box with those uncomfortable situations, back-to-back games. Made it end game and threw it. Alright, backing it up. How's he die here?
Look at this kid.
Oh, this guy was weird, dude. I don't know what this was. I remember seeing this. Like, what was this play? Oh, I guess he beams Nosh, so he pushes into Storm with it. He beams Nosh, but he's waiting for him edge, I guess.
Please, please give me the med kit.
Yeah, I mean, every time he dies, he's in these really uncomfortable situations, guys, where the guy's in the box. That's the thing. Nosh likes to get up close and in your face, but that goes two ways. It's a two-way street when you do that. That wasn't his. I think he should have maybe known that. Like, this is a situation I see Nosh in every single time he dies. Like, either on or under a ramp, somehow.
Zunis is a fucking retard.
Alright, what happened
I
here?
got a wall with a .40. A good thing.
He changes back to his old drop.
How's that guy doing?
Fast forward. Drops down, gets beamed. Doesn't see the guy.
What?
Does the ramp phase, and he J dashes. Watch that back. Slow motion.
What?
Reverse ramp. I feel like here he should edit out, right? Like, why do you take the trade? And even if you do take the trade, why don't you... Okay. Yeah. I think you just don't take the trade, right? When you're that weak, you just don't even go for the...
Through the ramp like that? Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't think you go for the yellow the ramp phase. Alright, moving on. Because he could have been evasive and bought himself time to pop shield. Moving on.
This game right.
Moving on. Alright, here we are in game. You really started this game with no mats, huh? Didn't get the trap on that guy. I caught my dog scratching at my door. Hang on. She's like whining. I gotta see what she's doing. You guys want to see my puppy? Like a terrier mix or something? If I can give you a good angle. How do I angle the camera? There we go. I guess it was just like lonely outside. We can hang out here. Alright. Name's Lila, by the way. Yeah, I think she was just lonely in the living room, so. Just exploring my room now. Alright, moving on with the Nosh VOD review or whatever. What kind? She's like a terrier chihuahua mix. She's like whining them. Not sure what she wants. Maybe she wants to be let out. I'm gonna let her out. I'll be right back. She's been whining like all morning. As soon as we went into the living room, she started scratching the door, so she want to be let out. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. My bad for the interruption there. But when your dog wants to be let out, you gotta let your dog out.
Oh my god, bro. What I dropped him like I would have died. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, what would you do here? You don't loot that guy for the mats, first of all. So he didn't loot that guy, he just kind of kept trying to hold height. Then he like tries to Tifu Classic the guy with 3 builds. Then he identifies that guy who's deep in storm. I feel like you should just drop on the guy
Oh my god, bro.
in circle, right? Because that guy that's spraying you isn't even building. That guy's probably out of mats. Right, the guy spraying. I feel like you just drop on that guy instead. Not the guy in storm who could have like 5 floppers and build you out.
Some shit. Place did you get? How many?
Alright, moving on. Fast forwarding, fast forwarding. So it looks like he died off spawn. Fast forwarding to when he died. Again, we're just rushing through the Nosh review because we already learned a lot from Bugha, Khanada, and Unknown. We learned from Nosh too, like he puts himself into some really bad situations a lot of time when compared to like Unknown, who's always like in the ideal position during a box fight. When he's on controller, like on keyboard and mouse, it's a different story.
Jesus.
Shut up, bro.
That was clean. That was clean. That cone was good. No builds. That was clean too. Misses that one. That one was critical. Misses that one a little bit. I guess the ramp edit made him miss that one.
What?
Yeah, he
How's
missed
he
that
not
one. If he hits the one he missed, he would have won the fight.
Oh my god, that guy was the worst. That's a celebrity, quick.
So this is his last game, right?
People left.
And then he
Oh,
died
shit.
around here.
He got sniped.
He's running. He needs the points. See, like if you're a monster, like you,
What happened? What happened? He got sniped.
Oh my god.
You could tell he's just like in disbelief.
He got sniped from like a mile away. Like some random ass dude just sniped him. Dude.
like why is snipers in the fucking game?
I think he ends the stream, right? He's out of games, like I guess. When does he start? When does he start? I want to know when he starts the game.
There, what's up, GG? Say E.
He starts right when it. He starts immediately. He doesn't
What's
wait.
that guy queue for?
Doesn't wait at all. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end the video there. That's going to be the end of episode 2 of Morning Coffee. We learned from Bugha that whenever you are boxed up, right? And right, this is you, right? This is your cone. And there's a cone right here that you should not rotate that way. You should rotate this way because there's an enemy here at all times ready to edit you down. That's the big takeaway from Bugha. That's kind of the big one for Bugha. Setting up your box fights so that you're not very sloppy. With Khanada, we learned that you should never put yourself into a position. I keep messing it up, dude. I don't know how to make triangles. Where you need to pull out your blueprint to reset a corner edit, right? Because there's like a ramp here. You should never put yourself in the position to do that. With Nosh, he kept putting himself into positions where he had to depend on his mechanics to get him out. I think that was my takeaway from Nosh. Unknown, it was kind of hard to talk about Unknown because he was on mouse and keyboard, not controller like his title said. I thought he was on controller. But yeah. Alright guys, that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have been great. If you guys know someone I should host, please recommend them right now. But thank you all for tuning in. That was a great stream, I feel like. You guys have been awesome. Alright, peace.